Millennium Sports presents Kimball Knights UIL 5A Region 2 Tournament Basketball. Today's game is brought to you by Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas. Family owned and operated since 2015. Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW. DFW's best roofer for over 35 years. Nelson Law Group PC of Denton and Flower Mound. Family, personal injury, civil litigation, and estate planning. Kansas Uptown Collision Center in Dallas. Pickup and delivery for Dallas families. And Realtor James C. Vivens with Keller Williams Plano, author of the book Walking Through the Valley of Grief. Now, let's join our Millennium Sports broadcast crew at the Colwell Center in Garland, Texas.
Good evening and welcome to the Colwell Center. Monte Walker along with Golden Pipes. Scott Garner, the SMU play-by-play guy. Hey, great to have you here. We've got Class 5A boys basketball regional semifinals, Dallas Kimball and Lufkin. It ought to be a great one this evening, Scott.
It should be a great ball game. And what I found interesting is, when you look at the scouting report for both teams, Monty, while Kimball, a team that has won close to 30 games, and Lufkin, a ball club that's won over 30 ball games at 35, neither of these two teams were picked to win their district.
Right.
That's hard to believe. I mean, you're talking about a team that went to the state championship game in Dallas Kimball. They're 28-8. They've lost only one ball game in conference play in district competition. They were 15-1 in district. And it's absolutely shocking that Lancaster, who was ousted by Memorial, who we'll see after this ball game, was picked second in their district. That is just unfathomable to me.
Lots of superstars on the floor tonight. One, Arterio Morris will play above the rim, behind the arc. He'll do everything for Kimball. A great basketball player. He does everything. He's not the leading scorer, but he nearly is. 19.17 points per game and 6.76 assists per game. You want him to rebound? Well, he can do that too. 7.24 rebounds per game. He's headed to the University of Texas. Can't wait to see him tonight.
When you're scouting an opposing team and you're a head coach, one of the things that you have to do is you have to locate who are the scorers and who are the guys that shoot. And when you look at this Kimball team, they've got so many guys that can shoot the ball, but they've got a ton of guys that can drive the basketball. And you just pointed out one right here in Morris, 6'4" senior. This is a guy that, again, as you mentioned, a UT commit, and he's a McDonald's All-American. And McDonald's All-Americans can do so many different things. If you coach for 20 years and you get one of those on one of your teams out of 20 seasons, you're lucky. Kimball has had a slew of them in recent history, and I know that Coach Nick Smith just so proud of his program for being able to not only go deep into playoff games and deep into the championship tournament, but also his ability to cultivate players. And that's been a big strength of Kimball. They've gotten so many good players to come to their program, to transfer in and to develop what they've had, that it's not surprising to have a guy like Morris lead your ball club. He's a 3-level scorer. He's a guy that can do it all. He's almost impossible to defend, Mike.
You talk about the program.
Yep.
And what a great program it is. 6 state championships going back to 1990. We'll talk about them, and we'll talk about Lufkin on the way back. Their last state championship in 1979. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Wortham Brothers Roofing knows successful teams use scouting reports, as do smart homeowners. Most roofing companies survive less than 2 years. Wortham Brothers Roofing has over 35 years experience and 100,000 satisfied customers. For details about the company Texans know and trust, go online to wbroofing.com. Founded in 2015, the Mcdowell Funeral Home, LLC, located at 1810 Denby Drive in Dallas, is family-owned and operated, offering both traditional services and funerals as unique as your life. Services starting at $2,600 and cremation only $800. For details, go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Welcome back to the Coldwell Center. Monte Walker and Scott Garner. Let's talk a little bit. You're listening, by the way, to the Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW pregame show. Let's talk a little bit about the Lufkin Panthers and give a little scouting report for them, Scott.
Well, they're at a 5A Region 2, District 16, and this is a team that's played 39 games already. It's hard to believe that this team has won 35 of 39 games. They were 10-1 in district play. They finished in first place. A team that averages 58 points per ball game. That's not bad, but they've got to do some doing tonight on offense because they're facing a team that scores 81 points per contest. So Lufkin at 58, we'll see what they do. They've got some guys that can score the basketball. We'll talk about them coming up. But how about the path to round number 4 for this Lufkin team? Lufkin in round number 1 defeated Texarkana Texas High, squeaked by those guys in round 1, beat them by 5. It was a comeback for Lufkin, and they were able to catapult to round number 2 where they played Forney, the Jackrabbits, and they took care of Forney pretty well. Lufkin beat Forney 59-41, and they found themselves in the regional quarterfinal round taking on Sulphur Springs, and they did it with defense. We mentioned Lufkin only averages about 58 points per ball game, and the Panthers held that Sulphur Springs team to 32 points in that quarterfinals ball game to win that game by 10, 42-32. So you score 42 points and you win by 10. That's some great defense, and that's why they're here against Kimball. And we'll see what head coach J.T. McManus can do defensively against one of the stronger programs in the state in terms of putting points up on the board. J.T. McManus has been in Lufkin for 20 years. He's put up over 550 W's as a head coach. He has recorded 559 wins against 381 losses. Dad was a longtime coach at Texas. This is a guy that's been around the Lufkin program for a very long time. They've only lost 4 games this year. They lost to South Oak Cliff. Lufkin lost to Silsbee, Cypress Falls, and Jacksonville. That's it. They've got some guys that racked up some all-district honors last year. Elijah Johnson, keep your thumb on him. Number 4, 5'10 senior. He can score the ball. Great mid-range shot. He's a first-team all-district performer. Might be there again this year. He did that last year as a junior. And as a junior, Christian Mumphrey, number 1, a second-team all-district performer out of District 16 5A, and then Brandon Walker, number 15, a 6'5 junior, second-team all-district performer. So they've got some guys that can score. It was a team picked second out of 16 5A behind Nacogdoches, who is no longer in sight as far as the playoffs are concerned. Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Jacksonville, and Huntsville were the 4 teams that were projected to go into the postseason. And Nacogdoches, a team that's out. Lufkin continues, and here they are taking on the Dallas Kimball Knights in what should be a very good contest here at the Coldwell Center in Garland tonight.
5 out of 10 seasons, the last 10 seasons that the Lufkin Panthers have been in the playoffs and have been third round. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. And to get to this round, I mean, a lot of coaches will coach for 40 years and never make it this deep into the state tournament. And here they are. They've had good success as of late. 5 out of 10 years is really good. A lot of programs can't do that.
Isn't that a football town?
It is a football town. And it's funny you mentioned that. They've got some football players on this roster. We should mention Elijah Moody, who was their quarterback this year on the gridiron. Yeah.
Outstanding talent, athletes all over the place. We're going to take another quick timeout. You're listening to the Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW pregame show. We'll be back in just a moment.
Mcdowell Family Funeral Home serves Dallas families with pre-needs planning for as little as $50 per month. Our staff will help you organize a comprehensive checklist to lighten the burden on your loved ones when the time finally arrives. Go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com for complete details to start the process.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late-inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Whether buying or selling your home, it's a major decision. James C. Bivens of Keller Williams Real Estate Plano will help. James is a former teacher, principal, superintendent, coach, and resident of Frisco. For details, go online to James C. Bivens at kw.com or call 214-906-5679.
We are at the Coldwell Center in Garland. Monte Walker along with Scott Garner. It's Dallas Kimball and Lufkin regional semis tonight. It'll be a classic game. Let's talk a little bit about Kimball, if you will, while we're in the Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW pregame show. Scott?
Well, Dallas Kimball has absolutely destroyed the competition in the postseason. Like no other season they've ever had in the school's history. They've been that good this year. They're under 8-year head coach Nick Smith, who's won over 300 games himself, 324 and 160, his career record as a head coach. Dallas Kimball, 28-8, 15-1 in district competition. Remember, this is a team that went to the state finals last year, lost in the state championship game to Beaumont United, and that was a buzzer-beating loss. And obviously they remembered that in the offseason, really prepared well, and they got into 2021-22, and they had been pedal to the metal to the extent that they decided to schedule, get this, 2 tournaments outside of Texas.
Right.
They played over in Utah and in Florida, and they've had some big wins this year. In fact, in that tournament, they beat American Fork out of Utah in that tournament. They've had a big win against Lancaster this year, against North Little Rock at home, against Duncanville, 5th game of the year. Go back that far. They were down 17 points against the Panthers, came back to lead by 10, led by 10. Game then ended up tied after that, and with 5 seconds left, Duncanville had the tip follow, and it went in at the horn, and that was a bitter pill for this Kimball team to swallow. But for the most part, this has been an extremely successful year so far. They've got a ton of athletes that are going Division I. They have, if you count it up on your roster, 6 guys that are averaging at least 10 points a game. These guys only play 32 minutes. These are 32-minute games, and you've got a guy, Trey Clayton, who's a Division I guy, who averages 19 and 9 and has knocked down 87 3 balls this year. 87. Now, you say, well,
he's undecided.
He's undecided. And you say, well, how does that figure? Well, what they did a couple of years ago, Nick Smith, who's the head coach for Kimball, decided to make a little visit down to Houston. And they go down and talk to Kelvin Sampson and his coaching staff. And they took everything that Kelvin Sampson has employed with his ball club down at Houston the last several years and did everything to the T on their board, implemented it into the Kimball program, and they said it's been an absolute breath of fresh air. They're running secondary break. They're getting baskets in transition like they've never had with these kinds of athletes. I mean, they're almost unstoppable when they get rolling. That's the kind of team that Dallas Kimball has been this year. And again, it starts with Trey Clayton, 19 points a game, but also Arterio Morris that we talked about, 19.7 boards. He's really, really good. The UT commit, the McDonald's All-American. They've got some guys that can score, but they can also defend. They're going to be hard to score on tonight. That's really what they hang their hat on. That's what they do at Houston. They really play tough man-to-man defense. They don't switch much, and they will clog the paint. It's very tough to get to the rack against this Knights team.
8 losses on the season. 4 of them, you have to go back to December. And you mentioned that tournament outside of the state. Well, 3 of them came in the tournament. So losing games, they haven't done a whole lot on the season, but especially here lately. Again, 4 of the 8 in 2021. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back right after this timeout.
Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound offers assistance with contract law, partnerships, and civil litigation. Brett Nelson is client-centered and maintains excellent communication to assist his clients best reaching their goals. Nelson Law can be reached at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Founded in 1955, Hance's Uptown Collision Center is the best little paint and body shop in Dallas. Owner Rob Mays has assembled a team of iCar and ASE certified craftsmen to restore your fine vehicle to original condition. Hance's Uptown Collision Center offers free pickup and delivery service for Frisco families. For complete details, go to hanceauto.com. If you or a friend have experienced a significant life loss, get the booklet Walk Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens. This booklet shares biblical help and is written and designed to help you successfully deal with grief. Walk Through the Valley of Grief is available online at Amazon.com. That's Walk Through the Valley of Grief.
Welcome back to the Caldwell Center. Monte Walker and Scott Garner. It's the Region 2 Class 5A semifinals. Kimball and Lufkin. It ought to be a classic one tonight. So let's talk about the keys to victory for Kimball in this game, since we're regionally the Dallas Kimball broadcast. Let's talk a little bit about them and what's their key to victory tonight.
Well, key to victory for Kimball tonight, they've got a ball pressure, and they want to turn Lufkin over. They are averaging turning teams over at about 17 turnovers a game. That's a ton, and that's what they want to do. They want a ball pressure on defense, get out and run on offense. So if they can get turnovers, they like to turn those turnovers into points. That's a big key for this Dallas Kimball team. Key number 2 for Kimball, this is a team that cannot get lulled to sleep by Lufkin. Lufkin is a very odd team in the fact that their coach, J.T. McManus, will study a lot of film. A lot of coaches will run what they run. They won't scout a whole bunch. They'll try to get good at what they do. Lufkin has become very adept at being able to game plan and change what they do to sort of morph into a good defense for their opponent. A lot of teams don't do that, so that's a key for Lufkin tonight. Can Lufkin do that? But you watch this Lufkin team, if they can slow down Dallas Kimball in transition, that's a huge key for Lufkin. If they can do it, they'll have a chance. If they can't, they could get blown out tonight.
Yeah, it depends on who plays whose game.
Yeah.
If Lufkin is able to force Kimball to slow it down, as you mentioned, and play their game, a low-scoring game, obviously that works in the favor of Lufkin. Now, if Kimball is going to go off to the races and create those 17 turnovers per game, you can say la vie to Lufkin on their way back to East Texas.
Can't turn the ball over. If you're Lufkin, you get a lead. Let's say you get a 4 or 5 possession lead here. Maybe you get up 8 points, 10 points in this game. Be hard to do, but if you do that, what do? Do you go into 4 corners and stall, or do you keep trying to score baskets? Because if you give up a ton of possessions to Kimball, and I didn't say a ton of buckets, I said if you give up a ton of possessions to Kimball, they could absolutely steamroll you. So you've got to control that if you're the Lufkin Panthers tonight.
You're in the Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW pregame show. That's our keys to victory tonight. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back right after this.
What does the 50th anniversary of Title IX mean? It means I'm valued, I'm empowered, I can do anything. It means I'll pave the way for every girl who plays high school sports in the future, just like every female student, coach, official, and administrator blazed the trail for me. Because every student deserves the opportunity to play. Encourage girls you know to participate in Texas high school sports.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Founded in 2015, the Mcdowell Funeral Home, LLC, located at 1810 Denby Drive in Dallas, is family-owned and operated, offering both traditional services and funerals as unique as your life. Services starting at $2,600 and cremation only $800. For details, go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com.
The James C. Bivens team at Keller Williams Real Estate in Plano handles client transactions utilizing effective planning, cooperation, and teamwork. From new listing to closing, James C. Bivens team will handle the entire process. For details, go online to jamescbivens@kw.com.
Millennium Sports hopes you enjoy our presentation of UIL Bright Lights Playoff Basketball. If your business, family, church, or school organization wish to sponsor our broadcast, contact John Froh, president of Millennium Sports, at 214-642-7003 or email jmfroh@att.net.
And with that, Scott Garner, it is basketball time in Texas.
It is. Should be a good game tonight. You know, Lufkin came a long way. They've had to drive over 3 hours to get here. And this Kimball team, it's almost like a home game for these guys.
It really is, although I think Lufkin may have traveled a little bit better.
Yeah?
A little bit more fans, I believe, on the Lufkin side as they're introducing the starters right now. We'll let you listen to that.
At guard, a 6'3" junior, number 2, Elijah Moody. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Isaiah Bennett. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 4, Elijah Johnson. And at forward, a 6'5" junior, number 15, Brandon Walker.
So the starters for the Lufkin Panthers, Christian Mumphrey, Elijah Moody, Isaiah Bennett, Elijah Johnson, and Brandon Walker. The interesting thing about the starting five, 3 of them are left-handed. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. It's unusual to have more than one guy that's left-handed on your team to start. But they've got 3.
So here are your Dallas Kimball Knights being introduced.
A 5'10" junior, number 11, Tejon Brown.
Tejon Brown, the first one to be introduced.
A 6'5" senior, number 10, Trey Clayton. At guard, a 6'6" senior, number 3, Chauncey Gibson.
Chauncey Gibson being introduced.
At forward, a 6'7" senior, number 4, Kyron Henderson.
We earlier heard Trey Clayton and now Kyron Henderson.
And at guard, a 6'4" senior, number 2,
and then their superstar for the Knights is Arterio Morris. Coming out last, certainly not least. Colwell Center is a beautiful place over here, Scott. State-of-the-art multi-purpose facility located over here near George Bush Turnpike between North Garland Avenue and Brand Road, directly adjacent to Naaman Forest High School and the Gilbert Reed's Career Center, Technical Center.
That's
go ahead. Over 190,000 square feet of space over here, and what a beautiful location it is.
Seats about 7,000. Don't have that many in the arena here. I would suspect that maybe the early start sort of putting a damper on the crowd. Not a huge crowd on either side tonight to start.
Kyron Henderson will tip off against Walker. that being Brandon Walker. Both about 6'4", Walker with a little bit more weight to him than Henderson. Lufkin in dark gray, deep gray uniforms with their purple as their secondary color. Kimball in all white, trimmed in red. And it'll be Henderson controlling the tip, however, quickly down the court and out of bounds. Are they going to give the point there? That's not.
Yeah, Mumphrey almost
stepped on the line there, did he not?
He did. Mumphrey almost had that ball. Mumphrey almost had the steal there for Lufkin off the opening tap, almost controlled it.
So down the court, Henderson, top of the key, a bounce pass underneath, and that's going to be the missed layup, rebounded by Lufkin going the other way.
Big time miss right there for Kimball.
Moody, and this is in the corner for three. Bennett nails it. He's an assassin from the corner three.
Isaiah Bennett, they run that secondary break, spaced the floor well, had two guys in the corner, drive and kick off the bat. Nice shot from the left corner by Bennett.
Morris gives inside. That is going to be a beautiful shot from the left elbow by Tejon Brown.
You know, and that's a shot that Lufkin wants Brown to take. That's a mid-range shot. It's not a great shot by the analytics.
Mumphrey loses it. Brown up. He lost it. Off the glass, no good. A foul is called.
You know, and this is what Lufkin has to guard against. You turn the ball over. They 100% will try to attack on it and score. They'll try to score in transition. That foul going against Tristan Mumphrey, and that's his first. But this Lufkin team's got to keep Kimball out of transition.
Lufkin with the 3-0 lead early on, but there's the first points by Kimball, and it is a free throw shot by Tejon Brown on the front end. And it's actually 3-3 now. Kimball trying to take the lead, and they do on the back end. A little press from Kimball. Trying to break the press is Moody. Down the court, left side in the lane. That's going to be stolen. There's your turnovers you were talking about. Quickly down the court, it gets away for a moment, and now Lufkin tries to steal, and it goes out of bounds. It just got away from Gibson, and Lufkin will take it the other way.
You know, what crowd is here, I think, is pretty influential. Both of these two teams are going to be coming in here a little bit tight, and obviously you want to be able to settle down on both sides. It may take a quarter or so to do it.
Moody to Johnson trying to work his way across. He's trapped. Picked up his dribble, and now a bounce pass gets him across. A pass to Walker underneath off the glass, and that's good. 5-4, Lufkin in the lead. 6:31 left to go in the first. We're just underway. Morris, a pass to Henderson. It goes off of Walker and out of bounds. It was blocked, and it rolled off the left fingertips of Walker. And Kimball will have possession. It'll be Gibson on the inbound. And a alley-oop pass to Henderson.
Boy, big lob to the rim for Henderson. He's got his first deuce. And Henderson, 6'7" senior. They got about three guys that can dunk.
Quickly down the court, a missed opportunity on a three. And a left-handed layup is good. And that is Mumphrey who puts it in.
Yeah, Mumphrey with a shot fake stayed in his seat. I was surprised that he ended up going for the shot fake rather than up quickly there, because the shot fake kind of helped him.
Johnson stolen away from Brown. Down the court, Walker. Right-handed layup off the glass, no good, rebounded. Kimball going the other way. In the middle of the lane, Henderson slams it home again.
Boy, Henderson so good at Kimball. Get it in transition, and if they can play while they're scrambling, it's advantage Kimball.
5:42 on the clock here in the first, and Kimball leads 8-7.
One of the things you'll notice is that Kimball likes to run that full court press. They're used to being able to turn teams over consistently, but this pressure doesn't seem to be rattling this Lufkin team. They're handling it quite well.
Johnson, a very good ball handler, picks up his dribble, goes the other way, back to Johnson.
Just simple domino press break on the 2-1-2 here for Lufkin.
Mumphrey dribbling up top, guarded by Gibson. Fancy dribbling, very top of the key, going to drive to the bucket. Stopped at the line, a left-handed pass out to Johnson. Thought about the three, dribbles back to the right wing, now up top. going to the bucket. He's cut off. That ball stolen away. Down the court, and here goes Morris. A backhanded pass. That one is up and good. It's beautiful. Clayton finishes it off, and it's 10-7, Kimball.
Well, a great behind-the-back pass right there for Kimball. In transition, they had a 3-on-1.
Wide open shot for Johnson, and it's swatted away by Henderson, going the other way. Clayton, Henderson, pass underneath. Up, that's good, and the foul.
Well, some razzle-dazzle there in transition again. They have turned back-to-back turnovers into points. They've got a chance to make it a 5-0 spurt as a result of their defense.
12-7, Kimball in the lead. 4:48 left to go here in quarter number one. And Clayton is going to tow it and try to finish off the three-point play. Bends his knees. The right-handed shooter is off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Walker. He quickly hands the ball over to Mumphrey, guarded by Clayton.
You know, if you're Lufkin, you can't be afraid to foul at the rim on defense because this Kimball team is not great at the foul line.
Johnson at the left wing up top. And that's a Moody for the long three.
Boy, how about Moody, a left-handed shooter, the junior, the quarterback in football. They switched to a 3-2 zone defense on that possession.
Gibson tries to answer him back on the other end, but it's too long. Rebounded by Clayton. What's the call there?
Got a block.
It's going to be against Lufkin. Obviously not in the bonus yet. And it appears that it'll be Henderson on the inbound. 12-10. Kimball in the lead. 4:16 on the clock here in the first. Gibson, a pass underneath to Henderson, working on Walker. Left elbow, kicks it out. Now Brown goes to the bucket. That's off the bottom of the glass and no good. It goes out of bounds, and Lufkin will take possession.
Brown with a good baseline drive. I'm surprised with that 3-2 zone defense. Lufkin gave up the baseline drive to allow him to get all the way to the rim. Can't do that against this Kimball team who's extremely athletic.
Johnson all the way down the court, going to take it himself up, and that's blocked. And a call was made against Lufkin. I think it
was a travel.
Too many steps.
Yeah, he tried to jump stop right there, and Bennett, rather than a clean jump stop and a kick to the corner, he was indecisive when he left his feet. He wasn't sure what he was going to do, and another turnover. But, hey, this Lufkin team has kept this a 2-point game here so far.
Brown will dribble it down with a 2-point lead, 12-10. We're at the 3:48 mark in the first. Here's Henderson for a long three, air ball out of bounds. Lufkin will take possession, and now you'll hear the crowd with the air ball chant.
And even though Gibson's hit 98 threes, Henderson's hit 19, Clayton's hit 87, Brown is hit 62 for Kimball, if this Lufkin team can force them to take jumpers from the outside, it'll be advantage Panthers in this game.
Moody down the court. We'll get it down the corner. Now Johnson top of the key. Guarded by Brown tightly. Left wing. He's going to make a move toward the bucket. Stops at the three. Tries to go baseline. Cut off there. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Lufkin ball as he's pointing to one of his teammates, wanting some kind of a cut by Bennett to the basket.
Yeah, he wanted Bennett to cut backside right there to the basket because he got in trouble. Really dribbled it too much. Good hesitation, but when the ball's on his hip, this Kimball team will take it away from you.
Mumphrey, a bounce pass to Walker. It's stolen away by Henderson. Off to the races. Clayton slams it home.
Slammed it home, and Bennett did not wall up. He wanted no part of that. He just essentially let him have that two-hand jam.
3:11 on the clock, 14-10. Kimball in the lead. We're going quickly here at the Coldwell Center in Garland, Texas. Mumphrey, one-on-one against Clayton at the very top of the key. He'll stop right elbow, and a pass in the corner. Johnson, baseline, pass inside. Walker, he misses the runner off the glass. No good. It's going the other way.
Just can't miss the layup against this team.
Henderson underneath from Morris, and now a three by Clayton off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. A long pass going the other way. Mumphrey making a beeline for the basket off the glass. No good, but he's fouled by Henderson.
A great job by Mumphrey to take it all the way to the rack and to dupe Henderson into swatting, into getting the foul. One of the things you're noticing, too, about Dallas Kimball is that defensively they have a tendency to overplay at times. They have a tendency to try to deny a little bit too much, giving up the back cut, and Lufkin starting to recognize that. We'll see if they utilize that coming up the remaining 28 minutes of this game or so.
Mumphrey makes it a three-point game as he hits the front end to make it 14-11, 2:37 on the clock. here in the first. Left-handed shooter again. 3 of the starters for Lufkin are left-handed. This shot is also good. It's a 2-point game, 14-12. Gibson down the court quickly. Morris, the long 3, back of the rim, no good. Rebounded, and going the other way into the game for Lufkin is Kamari Taylor, who came down with the rebound.
It's a foul on Henderson right there, too. A foul on Dallas Kimball. That's a good call right there. They're being a little bit over-aggressive. Second missed 3, and a second missed 3 badly by Dallas Kimball.
Trey Harris also into the game. He'll check in for Brandon Walker.
But that's what this Lufkin 2-3 zone defense is designed to do. They want him to try to shoot over the top of it.
Down the court is Taylor. Stolen away from him. Quickly down the court is Wickware, who's into the game.
Bennett late flashing middle on that press break, and that's why they turned it over.
Brown around the baseline. That's going to be stolen away. And Orion Hart to Mumphrey. Mumphrey, the only original starter still in the game for Lufkin. Mass transfer.
Lufkin guard play really strong here for a high school team. They've got 3 guards that can handle the ball.
Bennett also into the game. And a layup that's going to be swatted away by Morris. Clayton will dribble it right-handed, now turn around.
Should have been a goaltend.
Wickware to Morris. Right wing, corner, Clayton for 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Brown, however, and they'll set it back up
and
with Morris.
Brown was being boxed out there by Bennett.
Clayton, a turnaround jumper. That one is nothing but the bottom of the net. And Kimball leads 16-12 with 1:23 on the clock.
Generally a tough shot there for Trey Clayton, but he wasn't being closed out on. He was left wide open, and he was able to hit it left of the paint.
Taylor, a long pass, trying to get it across the line. Mumphrey, a little contact, no call there.
Refs are letting a lot go here.
Now in the corner, now back up top. They're going to set this one up a little bit. Mumphrey will dribble left-handed to the left wing, make a cut in the middle of the lane. It's stolen away. Down the court, Clayton up. Clayton slams it home. And Kimball extends the lead, 18-12. Less than a minute left in the first. Mumphrey guarded by Gibson. Now he's trapped, Morris and Gibson. And a timeout has been called by Lufkin as the trap was there.
Boy, and that defensive pressure has made the guards for Lufkin uncomfortable the last couple of minutes. Tristan Mumphrey that time being trapped. He called the timeout in that deadly corner, midcourt, just inside the timeline. Really didn't need to, just needed to kind of turn around, step through it. He had an outlet right there in the middle of the floor. Kind of panicked a little bit, called the timeout. It's a 6-point game here. Lufkin teetering. They've turned the ball over a ton. And for the number of turnovers that they've had here in the first quarter, Lufkin's lucky to only be down by 6.
You know, we talked about it in the pregame show, in the Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW pregame show, that Kimball steals it about 17 times per game. They take it away.
Yeah.
And now you see why that happens.
Yeah,
they're very aggressive.
Not stealing it, but turning it over. So I'll bet they forced 6 turnovers in the first quarter alone, and we still got 39 seconds to go.
Moody back into the game. We'll flip it over. And now Taylor bringing it up middle of the court. He's trapped. Now inside Moody. Quick pass underneath. Up off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Wickware. Going the other way. Gibson.
Harris missed the layup. Second layup Lufkin's missed.
Wickware will kick it out. Parker into the game. And now that's going to be Clayton on the air ball.
It's Clayton on the air ball as it goes out of bounds to Lufkin. Clayton on the air ball, but it's the 3rd straight miss and 2nd real bad miss in a row from 3 for this Kimball team.
Moody to inbound. Johnson back in the game also. But this is going to be Taylor bringing it up. He's stopped. Now Moody across the line. Johnson can dribble in the right elbow. Up, shot, rim, off the glass. That's good. That is the end of the first quarter, and Lufkin comes back to make it a 4-point game. It's 18-14 here at the Colwell Center. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
The Kimball Knights wish to thank our broadcast sponsors, Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas, family owned and operated since 2015. Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW, DFW's best roofer for over 35 years. Nelson Law Group PC of Denton and Flower Mound, family personal injury, civil litigation, and estate planning. Enhances Uptown Collision Center in Dallas. Pickup and delivery for Dallas families. It's 18-14 here at the Coldwell Center. Kimball in lead over Lufkin.
Must admit that this Lufkin team handling the pressure a little bit better than I expected. They've been able to stay calm. As much as they turned it over in the first quarter, it's still just a 4-point game. Kimball doing a good job of turning turnovers into points. They lead it 18-14, but they're not rolling over this Lufkin team like some folks felt like they would coming in. And that timeout with 40 seconds to go at the end of the first quarter. 2 straight good offensive possessions for Lufkin. This now their third.
Johnson left wing to the top of the key, which is Harris. And now Taylor cut off at the free throw line. Back to Johnson.
A big pressure on the guards here from Kimball.
Johnson moving from left wing to the top of the key. He'll move left wing again. Fancy dribbling, and now 5 seconds is going to be called on Johnson as he was guarded tightly. Very tightly by Omari Taylor right there.
Don't see that call a lot, and I'm sure the fans coming over from East Texas don't take too kindly to that 5-second call.
My apologies. That was Parker there on the defense. Now around the perimeter. Going to the bucket. A left-handed layup is good. That's Gibson. And then extends Kimball's lead 20-14. Moody, a quick pass to Taylor. Trying to break the press. Taylor will try to dribble through it. He's cut off, and the ball's nearly stolen. Taylor is going to have to, what's the call there?
Be a foul on Kimball. But, you know, Lufkin, when they're bringing the ball up, the guards have to be careful. They've got to protect the ball with their guard hand. They've got to get low. And when they're pressured, they've got to try to initiate contact, protecting the basketball, because Kimball, again, is overplaying. They're reaching in a lot, and they can draw some fouls here against an overplaying Kimball team.
Brandon Walker will check back in for Trey Harris for Lufkin. Bringing it up the court is Mumphrey. Guarded by Gibson. He'll switch off, hand off to Johnson. Coming to the top of the key, and another foul is going to be called. And I believe this is Gibson.
It is. It's Gibson. And it's the second foul in a row on kind of a reach-in. And you can see Dallas Kimball's head coach, Nick Smith, not happy about it, but those are absolutely the correct calls, and they're really easy calls to make, but Smith very upset at the officiating here.
Gibson will check out of the game also. Trey Brown into the game. Moody a pass to Mumphrey, who brings it across, guarded by Morris. Mumphrey, a pass out to Moody for 3, left-handed shot, no good, that's airballed. Rebounded, however, and put back up by Mumphrey.
Great pick and pop to Moody. He missed the 3 and the putback. Sometimes your best offense is a missed shot.
There's going to be foul called on. It was a carry. I thought they were going to get Moody for not setting his feet, but they got the carry. You don't see that very often anymore.
No, it's more at the high school level than the college level of the pros, but these officials have been on top of it so far in this game. A 4-point game here inside of 6.5 to go second quarter.
20-16, 6:24 on the clock. Here's a left-handed jumper, which is good by Moody. That makes it a 2-point game. And here comes Morris and Kimball down the right side of the court.
Lufkin has outscored him 6-2 since that timeout with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Morris making a move, a quick pass across. Coming to the middle of the lane, the up jumper off the rim, no good, but a foul is called as going up was Parker.
Yeah, a foul called there on Dallas Kimball, on Lufkin. I thought Kimball did a good job of attacking in the teeth of that zone. This Lufkin zone is not really tight enough. They're trying to run a matchup here, but it's not really tight enough to keep Kimball out of the paint. They're too athletic.
Parker gets a roller to go in. to make it a 3-point game with 6:04 on the clock. 21-18 our score. Kimball shooting on our right side from our vantage point, going from left to right. Lufkin, of course, going the other way. Second shot by Parker rolls around the rim and finally goes in. It's a 4-point game, 22-18. Mumphrey working on Morris, and he'll go across the line uncontested, making a way to the bucket. A quick pass underneath to Walker, tried to slam it and missed it. Morris quickly down the court, guarded by Johnson. Left-handed through the lane, up. Foul is going to be called on Walker.
Boy, the Lufkin fans are not happy because they felt like they got fouled on the dunk attempt over here, but then on a wall up where the guy puts his hand straight up, Kimball ends up drawing the foul.
So Morris will toe the line for Kimball with a 4-point lead, 22-18, 5:44 on the clock. Morris's shot is off the back of the rim and no good. It's not often he misses a free throw, but he does there. Pink shoes, and he'll toe him. Dribbles a couple of times, right-handed shot, back of the rim, no good. A fight for it, and a scramble goes out of bounds as the ball's tipped out, and Lufkin will have possession as Moody will throw it in with a 4-point lead for Kimball. Moody guarded by Henderson, who's back into the game. Johnson, the quick dribbler down the court. He's across the line. Stopped at the left wing, dribbling to the right wing, a bounce pass in the corner. That's Mumphrey, a pass underneath, Walker up good.
Boy, Walker's so good when he catches the ball. He's able to turn, get squared up, balanced, and able to finish. A lot of big posts, number one, can't get balanced. Number two, at the high school level, can't finish. This guy, Walker, has done both very nicely. Was second-team All-District last year. Got a chance at first team this year, I would think.
Morris behind the line. They wanted to travel, but a steal's going to take place instead. Mumphrey down the court. Left-handed layup in the bucket. We've got a tie ball game at 22-22 with 5 minutes left to go in the second.
And I thought 3 minutes into the game, Lufkin really felt as though they could hang with Dallas Kimball, who's gotten so much press this year. But Lufkin holding their own, and now they've got the game tied.
There was a pass in the middle of the lane from Brown.
And a foul on Moody, it looked like. Elijah Moody battling inside, trying to get positioning, and that's kind of a ticky-tack foul away from the ball there under the basket.
So Jaqueline Parker will check out, and Chauncey Gibson's will check back into the game. Henderson to inbound. Wickware to Morris, guarded by Mumphrey. Morris on the right wing, now in the corner to Brown, inside Henderson. He wants somebody to go. He's going to go himself. A pass underneath is stolen away by Mumphrey. And going down the court is Johnson.
Great anticipation by Hart there to cut in front and to deny that and to come up with a steal.
Pass, Mumphrey, middle of the lane, runner no good, rebounded by Wickware. And a quick pass out to Brown.
Had a
down
look.
The court.
Wickware altered the floater there, made him shoot it higher than he wanted to, and that's why he missed it, and Kimball's got it back.
Morris the jumper, right elbow. That one is good. Very Mark Aguirre-like.
A really nice shot there on the mid-range, and he was able to stop, pop, stay in rhythm, even with a guy right in his face.
24-22, 4 minutes on the clock. Here's the loose ball going the other way. Alley-oop up for Henderson from Brown, and it's good. It's 26-22, and a timeout's been called by Lufkin.
You get 5 of those, and Lufkin's coach realizes, hey, we got to stop the action. JT McManus has done a really good job. He's close to 560 wins. He'll have his 560th if he is able to come up with the upset win tonight here in Garland. But I got to tell you, Lufkin's done a really good job of being able to handle the pressure. But I think Kimball, while they were called for some early ticky-tack fouls, even while they're overplaying, it's worked to their advantage. They've turned so many turnovers. I've bet 8 or 9 turnovers into points already. That's how they're scoring. Kimball's not scoring that much in the half court. Lufkin's doing a good job of playing a 2-3 zone and clogging up the paint. 26-22 is our score right now. And Lufkin, hey, you get 5 timeouts, want to use it right here because, again, Kimball, like no other team in their district, can go on big runs and can stretch a lead out. I like this timeout.
You know, Lufkin plays their bench very nicely. They've used, obviously, more of their bench players in this first half. Kimball starting 5, I don't think anyone can match up against the 5.
No.
When you get into Kimball's bench a little bit, that's when you start seeing the Lufkin turnaround and start seeing them put up some points and bring the game a little bit tighter.
The one difference you see from the early part of the first quarter is the fact that Lufkin not allowing as many paint touches. They really made Kimball earn, especially in the half court, earn all of the shots that they've been given. Unfortunately for Lufkin, Kimball's so athletic, they're able to turn you over and turn it immediately into points.
3:50 on the clock here in the second, 26-22. Kimball in the lead. Mumphrey, a bounce pass to Johnson at the free throw line. Up, runner, pass underneath, knocked out of bounds by Morris for Kimball, and it'll be Lufkin's ball.
Another good possession right here as Kimball tries to run the jump trap, but they've got such good guard play, and they're so smart. They get it to the middle, and all of a sudden, Lufkin with one pass ends up with numbers.
Bennett to inbound. Got to go somewhere, and a long pass. And finally, Johnson, it ends up in his hands, top of the key. Guarded by Morris. Moves to the left wing, and now a bounce pass up top, Mumphrey. Guarded by Gibson, cut off at the left elbow, middle of the lane. A pass inside Walker. It almost gets away, and it does. It goes off of him and rolls out of bounds.
Well, you don't see him miss passes like that very often. A lot of posts are big and clumsy, but not so for this Lufkin post. I thought Walker did a really good job the first 18 minutes of not dropping passes. That's a ball he's got to catch, especially with Kimball on a little bit of a mini run right here.
No pressure from Lufkin as Kimball will dribble it across the line.
One thing you notice is that Kimball really knocking drivers off their line.
There's Gibson on the shot from just inside the three-point arc. It airballs, but it's rebounded and put right back up.
A couple of times missed shots have really turned out to be beneficial for Kimball with the offensive rebounded shot.
Long three off the front of the rim, no good. And it actually finally rolls out of bounds after a chase, and it'll stay Lufkin ball. 28-22, Kimball in the lead, 2:52 left to go in the second.
Good hustle by Walker and Henderson for Kimball, Walker for Lufkin. Walker earning that possession because ordinarily, that 99% of the time, that's going to be White's ball.
Bennett, a lob pass, or Mumphrey rather, a lob pass into Walker, who puts it up off the glass from the inbound.
Boy, and Walker apologizes for the turnover. What a great catch on the lob, and he shot that layup with his back to the basket.
Gibson right through the lane off the glass, and good. It's a 6-point game.
They stretch it back out to 6 because Lufkin just refusing to wall up middle of the paint and not give up a layup. Kimball doing a good job of getting to the rim.
Johnson takes a shot from the elbow at the top of the key, and now the pass is stolen away. Quickly down the court, middle of the lane. Morris slams it home. 32-24, 2:14 on the clock here in the second.
10-2 run here by Dallas Kimball over the last 4 minutes. And this Dallas Kimball defense daring the officials to call every foul. They're putting all kinds of pressure out there.
Mumphrey, corner, Bennett, shot up, air ball, but Walker is right there, and he puts it back up to keep it a 6-point game, 32-26.
Walker's been the player of the game so far offensively for Lufkin.
Here's a shot off the glass and no good, rebounded by Brown, who puts it up. That one is good.
Lufkin's so concerned about fouling at the rim, they've given up the layup. They've done that about 3 or 4 times already in the game.
Trapped is Mumphrey, but he gets it across to Walker. Now corner Bennett. A long pass to the other corner. Shot by Hart off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Morris.
It's a great skip by Bennett. It's a shot that must go down wide open if you're going to win this game.
Morris, middle of the lane. Quick pass, Wickware. Blocked by Walker. Lufkin going the other way, but it's stolen by Henderson. This is a big dunk coming, and it is. 36-26. It's a 10-point game. 1:06 on the clock here in the second. Mumphrey, middle of the lane to Walker. It goes through his hands again and rolls out of bounds.
Lufkin trying to survive the last 1 minute of this first half. And this is a Kimball team we mentioned can go on a run like nobody's business. And this is a current 14-2 run here for Dallas Kimball.
Wow, a statement in the last 5 minutes or so, ever since the timeout, really.
Yeah, it really has. And you've got to be impressed with Kimball. They just keep pouring on the pressure, and eventually they'll turn you over.
10-point game, less than a minute before the half. Here's a shot by Brown, and that's no good. Actually, that is not Brown. That is Trey Clayton. Down the court, Taylor, corner. That's Hart for 3. Rolls in, rolls out. But right there is Walker. He missed it, and now a tie. Jump ball is going to come up. And possession will go to Lufkin on the tie.
Yeah, I think they called a foul there
on
Lufkin. Yeah, foul on the Panthers. on the rebound attempt. But again, Kimball making Lufkin play a little bit faster than they want. They want to push it in transition, but again, they have no choice but to go fast against a very athletic Kimball team, and they're getting drives and kicks. And we've seen Lufkin miss 2 wide-open threes from each corner as of late. You have to hit those shots this deep into the postseason.
It'll be Henderson towing the line with his blue shoes, white uniform, trimmed in red. Kind of an aqua color shoe. 10-point lead for Kimball. 35.9 seconds remaining in the second. First shot is good to make it an 11-point game here before the half. And Kimball starting to stretch this one out just a little bit.
Henderson, a guy that is a transfer. He's actually going to go to West Texas A&M and play football. He's a wide receiver. Not even play basketball at WT. It's a great basketball program, the Division II ranks.
So the second one is good. It's 38-26. Hart is going to try to pass it to Taylor, but it's stolen away. Morris on his way to the bucket. Reverse layup is good. And it's 40-26. 14 points all of a sudden.
14 points all of a sudden. And the defensive pressure has been suffocating. Long opposite is open, but the guards can't see it.
Johnson to Hart. Back to Johnson across the line. Behind the back dribbling off the foot of Morris. Ends up in the hands of Hart. Quick pass underneath. And that's going to be stripped away, taken away quickly down the court. And the horn blows before Trey Clayton can make the jump shot. And we have a 14-point game at the half. Kimball in the lead.
Well, this Dallas Kimball team going to be very, very tough to beat in the postseason. And, again, they're going to end up facing the winner of the Mount Pleasant-Frisco Memorial game that will take place right after this one here at the Curtis Colwell Center. And I'm sure that Quentin Gibson, the head coach for Memorial, here early, scouting, and I'm sure he doesn't like what he sees out of a potential opponent. That's going to be quite a game, and I believe that game takes place tomorrow, will it not? Yeah, going to play tomorrow in that ball game. These the both winners tonight will meet here tomorrow. That'll be a good one. This first half has been a good one. Dallas Kimball putting on a showcase defensively.
Well, the last 5 or 6 minutes has been nothing but Kimball. It's showtime.
Showtime, and they're getting into the defensive pressure. It's full court, and the Panthers are just not finding the passes on time. They're getting guys open, but guards are not making passes on time. You've got to do that. Otherwise, Kimball's going to absolutely steamroll you.
You've entered the Hantz's Uptown Collision Center halftime show. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back right after this.
Founded in 1955, Hantz's Uptown Collision Center is the best little paint and body shop in Dallas. Owner Rob Mays has assembled a team of iCar and ASE certified craftsmen to restore your fine vehicle to original condition. Hantz's Uptown Collision Center offers free pickup and delivery service for Frisco families. For complete details, go to hantzauto.com. Founded in 2015, the Mcdowell Funeral Home, LLC, located at 1810 Denby Drive in Dallas, is family-owned and operated, offering both traditional services and funerals as unique as your life. Services starting at $2,600 and cremation only $800. For details, go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Millennium Sports hopes you enjoy our presentation of UIL Bright Lights Playoff Basketball. If your business, family, church, or school organization wish to sponsor our broadcast, contact John Froh, president of Millennium Sports, at 214-642-7003 or email jmfroh@att.net.
Welcome back. We are in the Hanses Uptown Collision Center halftime show. Monte Walker along with Scott Garner. Scott, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half. I think we saw a lot of Lufkin and Walker underneath. That was really their positive on offense. And then Henderson, you think this is a run and gun game, but it's been the post play who's really dominated also.
Yeah, you look at some of the scoring here for Dallas Kimball, and you've got a couple of guys that really shined. 2 in double figures already, including Justin Rivera, who's got 12 points in the ball game. You've got Brown with 6. Clayton's got 10. Henderson in this ball game 4 unofficially, but Morris with the 6, as we mentioned. And again, they've been doing it, turning it over, running in transition. Lufkin's been at their best when they've not been able to turn it over, when they've kept hold of the basketball, been able to score and set up their defense.
I've been really impressed with the play of Henderson. You talked about he's a wide receiver in football and not going to play basketball at the next level.
That's hard to believe.
It really is.
This is a guy that, again, kind of a hybrid between Dennis Rodman and Kevin Garnett. Kind of a mixture there.
Right.
Really is that kind of guy. He's really good. Again, he signed with West Texas A&M. 6'7" senior, plays the 5 on this team. But really, they play positionless basketball. A lot of these guys are interchangeable for Kimball.
You mentioned Henderson, kind of a protege of Dennis Rodman. I didn't see the way he walked in the court today. I don't know whether his attire was like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't see how he walked in the court. Maybe we should have gotten here and taken some pictures, but tweeted him out.
Yeah, pretty impressive, performance early on, especially by Lufkin. They really, at one point, tied it up at 22-22, but since then, it's been a massive run by Kimball.
It's been a massive run, and you look at how this thing turned out and transpired. It was a 4-point game at the end of the first quarter, and we were tied at 22. But since that mark, Dallas
18-4 since that point.
This thing has gone to an 18-4. It was a 14-2 run that really got them going, and 14-point game here at the half. Lufkin's got some work to do. I was impressed because after a couple of breaks, either quarter breaks or timeouts that Lufkin took, J.T. McManus, the head coach from Lufkin, got his guys settled down. They were very organized, and they broke the press with ease. They set up that 2-1-2 press break, got it to the middle, had numbers, did that 2 or 3 straight possessions, but there's just something about this Kimball team where you don't really know where that first pass needs to go. Sometimes they'll deny, sometimes they won't, sometimes they'll deny middle, sometimes they won't. They ended up really the last 3 or 4 minutes pulling everybody to the midcourt line and around the foul line. So the only thing open was that long opposite pass into the opposite corner. But the guards aren't really tall enough to see through some of the 3s and the 4s that were playing for Dallas Kimball, and they couldn't make that pass.
It's 40-26. That means we're on pace for 80.
Yeah.
And 80 and 52.
Well, that's what Dallas Kimball averaged. They averaged 81 a game.
Yeah, I was about to say, we with that being the pace, 80 and 52. 52 is generally not too off for Lufkin. They've won a lot of games with that kind of scoring output. However, when you're giving up 80, that's more of Kimball's style of game.
Well, look at what Kimball's done in the postseason. Kimball ousted Hillcrest 83-50, beat Heritage 87-57, and then kiboshed Rock Hill 86-53. They have absolutely demolished all 3 playoff opponents, and here we are in round number 4. Some might say 14 points is a tight game for them.
Well, you're in the Hanses Uptown Collision halftime show. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound offers assistance with contract law, partnerships, and civil litigation. Brett Nelson is client-centered and maintains excellent communication to assist his clients best reaching their goals. Nelson Law can be reached at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Mcdowell Family Funeral Home serves Dallas families with pre-needs planning for as little as $50 per month. Our staff will help you organize a comprehensive checklist to lighten the burden on your loved ones when the time finally arrives. Go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com for complete details to start the process. If you or a friend have experienced a significant life loss, get the booklet Walk Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens. This booklet shares biblical help and is written and designed to help you successfully deal with grief. Walk Through the Valley of Grief is available online at Amazon.com. That's Walk Through the Valley of Grief.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
You're listening to the Hantz's Uptown Collision Center halftime show. We had the McDowell Family Funeral Directors of Dallas scoring summary, followed by the Nelson Law Group PC of Denton and Flower Mound highlights. And now, Mr. Garner, how about keys to the second half, brought to you by Wortham Brothers Roofing of Dallas?
Well, there's no question that Lufkin has got to keep Kimball out of transition, and the best way to do that is not turn the ball over. But that's easier said than done because Kimball's ball pressure is about as good as it gets at the high school level. That's why they've been able to just roll through the playoffs to this point. They're up by 14, and that's key number one and maybe the only key that Lufkin really needs to focus on in the second half.
The Kimball Knights wish to thank our broadcast sponsors, Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas, family owned and operated since 2015. Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW, DFW's roofer for over 35 years. Nelson Law Group, PC of Denton and Flower Mound. Family personal injury, civil litigation and estate planning. And, of course, Hantz's Uptown Collision Center in Dallas. Pickup and delivery for Dallas families. They also do that in Frisco. So take care of those folks over there at Hantz's Uptown Collision Center. Back to action here with Kimball leading 40-26 as we enter the second half. Flip it around, and Kimball going to our left, from right to left to that basket. Into the game now is going to be Morris with a quick pass inside. Now quick pass out, Gibson in the corner. Brown making his way to the bucket. A right-handed jumper, no good. It might have been swatted away a little bit there.
Not sure if it was touched, but I know that Lufkin did a good job of forcing the mid-range take there by Brown. Brown missed it badly, and that's the take that Lufkin wants them to take.
Johnson over to left wing. Now Johnson back left wing. He's going to make his way to the bucket. Right-handed runner is good, and the foul on Brown. Three-point play perhaps coming up for Kimball, and that's how you get back in the game.
Brown was literally behind him. I thought Lufkin did a brilliant job of spreading the floor. The offensive spacing was as good as it could possibly be. And I really thought that Johnson made a move, got leverage, and got into the paint, and did a good job of getting on top of the defender there, drawing the foul, and getting the floater.
Johnson for Lufkin there makes the second shot, or makes the shot to make it a three-point play. And it's 40-29. Morris taking it himself all the way to the bucket. Reverse layup and good, 42-29.
Well, if you're Lufkin, you can't play worse defense than that. They give up the defensive split. Bennett did not come over for help, and Mumphrey just essentially let him go by. They pretty much just gave up 2 points.
Johnson dribbling to the right side, cut off. Now Moody, ball gets away as Gibson just hit it with his right paw. It ended up in the lap of the Lufkin bench.
I mean, the Lufkin guards, if they don't play tough defensively, if they are going to be okay with giving up layups, going to be a long second half.
Oop pass on the inbound to Walker, who puts it up. And it's 42-31.
Walker's in double figures now with 10. He's had a great game, and they've been finding him repeatedly.
Morris taking over the game himself, but he banks it off the back of the rim. He gets his own rebound. Quick pass and beautiful underneath. The roller flushes in, and it's Clayton to make it 44-31.
Love how Kimball crashes the glass, and they attack downhill off the missed shot. And they essentially ran a break drill right there. It was 3-on-2. You had a little contest there at the foul line and a little dump.
Johnson over to Taylor. Ball gets away a little bit. Lufkin will have possession underneath. 6:15 on the clock, 44-31. Kimball in the lead here in Garland, Texas.
It really comes down to defense. Is Lufkin going to keep giving up paint touches and keep allowing Kimball to get to the rim, or are they going to wall up and contest shots?
Mumphrey inbound, Johnson for three, corner no good, rebounded. It gets away from Brown, and Johnson ends up with it for Lufkin. He'll set it up top, left wing. Dribbling left-handed, now behind his back, right-handed, cross-dribbling between the legs, guarded by Brown. He'll go to the corner, a bounce pass underneath the Walker. It's swatted away by Henderson, going the other way. Quickly down the court. In the corner now, pass up. Morris, he's going to shoot the three from the right wing, no good. Rebounded by Henderson. He puts it up off the glass, and it rolls in. 46-31.
They get the bank shot in the post box. Kimball 0 for 3 from 12 feet and further out this half. But again, if they get in close, they are going to convert. And I thought it was a really good job by Henderson to come through the defender and knock the ball away.
Henderson knocks the ball away there as he swats it away. And now an attempted dunk by Henderson, no good, but rebounded by Gibson and put back up. Johnson going the other way. It's 48-31. Johnson quickly down the court. Puller, jumper, no good. Rebounded by Morris. Long pass to Henderson, right wing. It gets away from him. He recovers. Going to the bucket. Reverse layup is good. 50-31, and another timeout by Lufkin has been called with 5:06 left to go in the third.
Wow, 10-5 spurt here to begin this second half. And Dallas Kimball putting it on. I mean, they're now getting rebounds on the defensive end and throwing 60-foot outlet passes. I mean, that's how quickly they're getting down the floor. And Lufkin not contesting drives here. This will be a long second half for the Panthers, and well, that's what Dallas Kimball does to you. They turn you over, they get to the rack, they play downhill, and really they just beat you into submission.
That's just a lot of sizzle right there from Kimball.
Yeah.
I mean, so much sizzle in that frying pan. It's just spewing out everywhere.
You know what it is? It's like a football team that runs the ball like a really a Big Ten team that lines up with two tight ends, and they just run it at you and run it at you and run it at you. And by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, you don't want any more.
Yeah, you just wonder how much gas can be left in the tank for a guy like Johnson, for Lufkin, the point guard who is so good. Elijah Johnson, so quick. But, you know, unless you're like a cross-country kid, you're going to be worn out in a game like this.
What I've been impressed with, too, is the fact that Johnson and a couple of the off guards have tried to attack the basket and tried to get to the cup on a straight line drive, but the Kimball defenders have knocked them off their straight line to get to the hole.
Mumphrey spun around, going to the bucket, a fake, and he walked. He was going up, jump stop fake, and he rolled his feet a little bit, and Kimball will take possession.
There it is again. Mumphrey trying to attack, but instead of being 2 feet from the basket, all of a sudden he's 4 to 5 feet from the basket. He's not really comfortable where he is, ends up turning the ball over.
Morris will bring it down for Kimball with a 50-31 lead, 4:50 on the clock here in the third. Morris through the lane, behind the back, up, no good, but he's fouled. And I didn't see who that was on, but it was in the vicinity of Trey Harris.
Now, we weren't in the locker room at halftime, but it sure does appear as though Nick Smith has implored his Kimball Knights to attack the basket, get to the hole. We're bigger, faster, stronger. Dare them to wall you up. And Lufkin just hasn't yet here in the second half.
Talking about Coach Smith, picked up his 300th career win about a year and a half ago. Maybe not that long. November 19th, 2020 against Rock Hill. Here's Morris banking in the free throw. 51-31, a 20-point game. Mumphrey trapped in a long pass down the corner, and it's thrown away as Trey Harris threw it just over the head of Bennett. Or is that, that's not Bennett. That was Hart, rather.
He had Hart there, and just a bad pass by Harris. Harris just has to finish that pass. He's got a guy right there under the basket for a layup.
Morris in the middle of the lane driving to the bucket, had it stripped away from him. It goes out of bounds. But Kimball will retain possession with a 20-point lead with 4:31 left to go in the third.
It's interesting. Kimball came out. First 3 takes out of the halftime break. 3 ball and a mid-range shot. Since then, nothing but drives to the basket.
Henderson, corner, Gibson, rolls in, rolls out. Rebounded by Clayton, put back up. That does roll in finally. 53-31.
That's just size and strength, and that's just Lufkin not wanting to wall a guy up and allowing a layup.
Johnson, Muffrey, Moody, corner. 3 ball is no good. And going the other way is Henderson. Middle of the lane, he'll take it himself. Tries to jam it home, but he misses it. And it'll be Lufkin's ball as he really tried to take the roof off of this place with that one.
He did, and Lufkin's head coach, J.T. McManus, is over there with his palms to the sky going, is anybody going to get in front and maybe take a charge?
I don't know if I'd get in front of that,
boss. they were making a business decision down there is what they were doing. That was a business decision.
Yeah, that's a big fella right there.
Yeah.
So Moody will inbound for Lufkin, who trails by 22, 53-31. 3:58 on the clock here in the third. Johnson with a pass over to Mumphrey. Now a quick pass in the middle, stolen away. Trying to regain it. Clayton has it. A quick pass out. Brown underneath. Reverse layup. Very high off the glass and good. 55-31.
It looks like you're watching Kelvin Sampson's Houston Cougars. That's what this Kimball team did a couple of years ago. They took it straight out of Kelvin Sampson's book, said, hey, we're going to play like this, and it sure looks like it. They look good right there.
Mumphrey had the ball dribble away from him just a little bit, and they will retain possession.
You know, Monty, they've got the athletes to play like that. A lot of teams don't do that. But when you have athletes, you can turn up the pressure. If you've got a bench, you can turn up the pressure. You know that if somebody gets tired, hey, I've got 2 or 3 guys there on the bench waiting. A lot of high school teams particularly only go 7, 8 deep, particularly in the playoffs when they shorten that bench. Not Kimball.
Johnson guarded by Brown. It's not Brown, that's Taylor rather. Here's a jumper by Johnson that's no good. And it was Parker on defense. Again, it's a 55-31 score with 3:20 left to go in the third.
And I think what was so surprising to Nick Smith was the fact that it did not take long. It did not take long for his team to take to this style of play. And, hey, listen, there's not a whole lot of structure with it. It's simply secondary break. We're going to turn you over. We're going to pitch ahead. If we don't pitch ahead, we're going to get in the paint. And, you know, once teams do that, decide to play fast and practice it day in and day out and get good at it, it's very, very hard to stop.
Johnson was fouled, so he hits the front end, and he'll shoot the back end here. 55-32. There's just so much athleticism for Kimball. It's just so hard to match up.
Hey, listen, they got to the state championship game last year, ended up losing the state title game, and somehow they weren't even picked to win their district this year.
Parker down the court. Hewlett gets away. Morris for 3, left wing. Bottom of the net. 58-33. Wow. Johnson guarded by Morris.
You know, when you're up by 20-plus, those shots go down a lot easier.
Yeah,
not
they
shooting
do,
quite as tight, you know.
Mumphrey down the court, and now Walker will put it up off the glass. A great pass there underneath, and it's 58-35.
Nice attack right there by Mumphrey and a good find of Walker, who's in double digits.
Morris, a long 3. He was just showing off right there.
Yeah.
Front of the rim and no good, however. He'll get his rebound. It'll end up back in his hands. He's going to the bucket again. Right-handed layup off the glass, no good. It's going to be Lufkin ball going the other way as Moody will inbound. 58-35 our score here in Garland, Texas. Kimball in the lead with 2:29 remaining in the third.
Yeah, for Kimball, it almost looks like practice. I mean, they're not structured. They're playing loose. They're playing free. This is not a team forcing it. They know they're good, and they're getting it done tonight.
Johnson down the floor, stops, and banks it off the back of the rim. And Kimball will take it the other way. Gibson will take it himself as he'll walk it across. Left-handed dribbling, a pass inside. A shot, fadeaway, jumper is no good. Rebounded by Hart as it was Clayton on the jumper.
Really kind of like how Nick Smith is using his sets, his organized, orchestrated sets, here in a 20-plus point game to try to work on it for later games.
Walker, and about a 12-footer is good from the right side of the court. It's 58-37. 1:42 on the clock here in the third. Gibson guarded by Mumphrey, gets across the line. Dribbles to the right side. Hewlett for three. Back of the glass, no good, no rim.
If this were college, Hewlett would have gotten called for a flop warning there.
Here's Johnson with a long three, front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Wickware. Going the other way, Parker. He's going to the bucket. And a foul's going to be called on the floor as his ankles got twisted up with, I believe that's Hart.
Yeah, and with Parker going to the cup there, he really forced the drive, got the foul call, wasn't attacking the score, he was attacking to get fouled. And if you're the opposing coach, JT McManus, you got to kind of be pulling your hair out with that. When they do it wrong fundamentally, but yet it still works out for them, you don't like that very much.
Starting five back into the game for Kimball. That's not good to see if you're Lufkin. Morris, left wing, sends Brown the other way across the baseline. We'll set it up top for Gibson. He'll dribble way up high on the right side of the court near the scoreboard.
With these two teams, whoever wins playing tomorrow, you've really got to kind of manage the minutes here.
Gibson attacks the bucket off the back of the rim, and it bounces, and rolls in. Under a minute left, 60-37.
I'm a little bit surprised the starters are still in the ballgame for Kimball.
Taylor and Johnson. Johnson almost had it taken away from him, but he'll be called for the walk as Morris was right in his face. A lot of pressure.
And you can tell, I guess when the lead got to 15, 16 points, there was just something different about Lufkin during that 14-2 spurt right before halftime. It was almost as if this Kimball team kind of took some of their spirit away from them. That fight. Every team's got a breaking point.
Gibson up top near half court with his feet in the circle. Will dribble a couple of times right through his legs. Guarded by Moody, mano a mano. To the bucket goes Gibson, left-handed layup off the glass and good. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and once he got leverage, there was no help side defense right there for Lufkin. They just give up the layup, and that's just simple one-on-one basketball. Looked like we're watching the NBA there.
Taylor, right elbow, now corner. Bennett going to go to the bucket. Up, reverse layup, swatted away by Henderson into the Lufkin bench, and he just stares at him.
I've seen volleyball spikes that didn't come off the hand that cleanly. I mean, that's like a volleyball spike, for goodness sakes, into the bench.
Yeah, looked like you're on the beach somewhere playing sand volleyball.
Man.
Shot, corner, actually, no, a pull-up. Moody, a flip out, and that's the end of the third period. It's all Kimball. 62-37 as we're headed to the fourth. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound offers assistance with contract law, partnerships, and civil litigation. Brett Nelson is client-centered and maintains excellent communication to assist his clients best reaching their goals. Nelson Law can be reached at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Welcome back to the Caldwell Center, where it's all Kimball tonight, 62-37 in the Class 5A regional semifinals. The Kimball Knights wish to thank our broadcast sponsors, Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas, family owned and operated since 2015. Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW. DFW is best roofer for over 35 years. Nelson Law Group PC of Denton and Flower Mound. Family, personal injury, civil litigation, and estate planning, and also Hance's Uptown Collision Center in Dallas. Pickup and delivery for Dallas families. We're into the fourth quarter, 62-37. Kimball in the lead over Lufkin, who will start with possession moving to our right, to the bucket on our right. Taylor's going to have it in his possession, moving to the left wing. Mumphrey, top of the key. Right side to Hart. Hart will dribble to the top of the key. A bounce pass inside. Right side. Mumphrey going to the bucket. Baseline kick out. Up top. Now going to the bucket and a kick-out pass for three off the top of the glass, no good. Going the other way is Morris. Mano. He stops at the free throw line. A pass underneath Henderson. In the middle of the lane, Clayton. And he dunks it home. And he raises his hands to the stands.
Like Trey Clayton, as we mentioned, a guy that's not committed to the Division I level, but he is a Division I player, as are a number of these Kimball athletes. They are really, really good.
Hart is going to be fouled by Hewlett, who's into the game. It'll be his first. Our score 64-37 here at the Curtis Colwell Center. Kimball in the lead. It's been all Kimball since a 22-22 score early in the game. Taylor, left wing. Hart now up top. Going to the bucket in the corner. Mumphrey, left-handed three. That's in the bottom of the net for Lufkin. And it's 64-40. Going the other way. Clayton stopped in the middle of the lane, but he's going to be, the shot's going to be no good, but he's going to be fouled.
Nice offensive possession there by Lufkin a second ago, and Mumphrey with a clean take. They have not made many makes from the corners, but that's one there. And had they had a couple of those earlier in the game, it might be a little bit tighter, and Lufkin may not feel as though they're out of it. You can kind of tell by their body language. They're not real sure they can come back in this game.
And you made a great point earlier with a lot of players still into the game. At what point do you begin to rest with games coming up 24 hours from now and less than?
I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that some of those starters were into the game deep third quarter.
Both shots missed, but it ends up in the hands of Henderson. A pass to Clayton through the lane, off the glass and good. 66-40, Kimball over Lufkin. 6:43 left to go in the game. Kimball still trying to trap Lufkin in the backcourt. Taylor to Mumphrey. They get it across. Hewlett guarding Mumphrey, one-on-one. Top of the key, left-handed dribbling for Mumphrey. Left-handed side of the lane, up off the glass, no good, but he gets his own rebound. Turnaround jumper, left-handed, no good, rebounded and skied by Henderson, and a football pass to Morris, who slams it home. It's showtime at the Colwell Center. And now a block's going to be called in the backcourt. And we'll see who that is on.
But Kyron Henderson rearing back with that baseball pass.
Yes.
Man, I would like to see him on the mound.
That was pretty impressive.
Man, it was impressive. I think it was on a beeline.
So the foul is going to be called against Hewlett, and Moody will inbound to Johnson. We're at the 6-minute mark here in Garland, Texas, the regional semis. The ball gets away from Johnson, but it was apparently tipped away by Brown, as Lufkin will retain possession here, and Moody will inbound. 28-point lead by Kimball. And a shot in the corner by Johnson for three, no good. Rebounded by Henderson. He's thinking about going it the distance, and he does. This time he rarely just rolls it in instead of slamming it home. Mumphrey jump stop. That's beautiful. Right on the right elbow, right behind it. 70-42.
There are not many two-sport athletes in college. I don't know of any. But if anybody could do it, I think that kid could do it. I think Henderson could do it. He's not playing basketball in college. He's going to play football at West Texas.
Yeah, he must be a really good football player. Walker through the lane, misses the runner, rebounded by Henderson, and Morris will bring it across himself. Uncontested. We're at the 5:15 mark here in the fourth quarter at the Colwell Center in Garland, Texas. Morris slowing it down a little bit, directing traffic at the volleyball line. A pass to Clayton inside. He's going to the bucket, and it's going to be blocked. I thought it was all ball, but apparently some body got in there. And Clayton, it appears, will go to the line.
Things I like is watching Nick Smith over there, even with the game way out of hand here, 70-42. He's still over there coaching. You can't look at that bench and determine what the score of the game is.
Clayton dribbles three times. The right-handed shot is off the front of the rim, off the glass, off the back of the rim, and rolls in, 71-42. Some subs for Kimball as Wickware will come in. Henderson will check out. We'll probably see the last of Henderson in this game, one would think. as Clayton again will toe the line. Second shot is up, and that one is right through the bottom of the net. 72-42, a 30-point game. Kimball in the lead. Johnson will dribble across the line uncontested this time. Dribbles to the right wing, guarded by Brown. Mano a mano. That's Hewlett, rather. And now a pass in the corner. Mumphrey dribbles up to the left wing. Now he'll dribble up near the box. Very high. Now middle of the lane. He's going to make a play for the bucket. The ball gets away from him, but a foul is going to be called. In the middle of the lane was Wickware.
You know, if you're a Lufkin Panther fan, don't feel bad because, hey, this Kimball team's been rolling over everybody by 25 points on average in the postseason. This is no shame to come into the Colwell Center and lose by 25 or 30 to this Kimball team. They're that good.
Moody, the jumper, left-handed, no good. Rebounded by Clayton. And he'll kick it over to Brown, and Morris wants it. Morris gets it. Right wing. And he's going to hold it for a little bit. But now he kicks it underneath to Clayton, and it goes off of Clayton's right leg and out of bounds. And Moody will take it underneath for Lufkin. 4:15 on the clock. It's 72-42. Kimball in the lead. Johnson, top of the key, dribbling left-handed. Inside, Moody, a pass in the corner. That one's off the side of the rim and no good. Bennett missed it. And here comes Morris down the court, dribbling left-handed. Gets a great pick from Wickware through the middle of the lane, no good, but he gets his own rebound, still fighting for it. And a foul, no. They're going to get him for moving too many steps on that one, and Lufkin will take possession. .347 on the clock left in the game. And it is a 30-point contest here at the Colwell Center.
Long drive home here for Lufkin. Took him about 2.5, 3 hours to get here. And again, this is almost like a home game for Kimball. And as the night wears on, you're starting to see more fans file into the Colwell Center.
Taylor will dribble across for Lufkin. And again, new players in for Kimball. Parker into the game. Not his first action of the game, but he re-enters. And there's a left-handed shot for three by Bennett. And that one no good off the side of the rim. Goes out of bounds, and Kimball will take possession.
This Kimball team's won a lot of games. This will be their 29th win of the year. They'll go to 29-8. They were 15-1 in district. And they won 26 games last year. They lost 3 in district play. How in the world did they lose 3 games in district last year?
Andre Canoe checks into the game for Kimball. Brown dribbling across. Another great pick by Wickware. Right side, the runner, no good. And it will be rebounded by Bennett from Lufkin. Dribbling to the left wing. He'll kick it out. Taylor, new player into the game, and now right side is Mumphrey.
Well, they're well coached, too. Kimball getting back in transition, getting to the paint, and fanning out from there.
Mumphrey, a great pass underneath, setting up the big Trey Harris for an easy bucket underneath, and it's 72-44.
Well, you always look at the bigs and look at their footwork. You evaluate their footwork, and you can tell how well they've been coached. I've been really impressed with Lufkin's bigs tonight. Walker and Harris. JT McManus has done a good job.
And they look like the same person. Yeah. They're about the same stature as well. Here's a shot by Hewlett. That one's no good, a little bit short, but he was fouled. Hewlett, the three-point assassin for Kimball, has not been able to see much action tonight, but he's fouled right there, and he'll go to the line with 2:32 left to go in the game. So Hewlett will stand at the line. The first one is up, and rolls in, rolls out, no good. 72-44 remains our score. 2:32 left to go here in quarter number 4. So again, into the game for Kimball, Andre Canoe, Wickware, T-John Brown still in the game. Jerquaylin Parker, and here's a second shot, is no good. And here's Taylor going down the court, dribbling to the right side. Going to be guarded by Parker. 2:24 on the clock. Down in the corner for Hart, who will dribble to the right elbow but kick it back out to Taylor. Top of the key, 72-44. Guarded by Parker. And now an inside pass to Bennett. Now in the corner. Back out, Hart's going to shoot the three from the right wing, front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Wickware, quickly gets it to Brown. 2 minutes on the clock. Parker thought about the three from the left wing, but he pulls up. And he'll dribble to Hewlett, and a handoff there, top of the key, and now a flip over to Brown, top of the key. 1:46 left to go in the game. 72-44, Kimball in the lead. Hewlett drives around the right side, and he's going to get called for the walk there as he moved his pivot foot just for a moment. We're going to try to get at some interviews after the game with the head coach, Nicholas Smith. There's a bounce pass in the corner to Hart. Taylor. And now Bennett. Now in the corner for Hart is going to be no good as Lufkin cannot buy a three anywhere around the perimeter this entire evening. 72-44 our score. We're just about at the minute mark left to go in the game. As Brown will try to dribble around. Really no contest from Taylor. Brown will just dribble. There's a minute left, and I think we're going to see the end of the game here. Both teams are basically tipping their hat to each other here in the regional semifinals. Both crowds will stand to their feet as Kimball will advance to tomorrow. They'll play again and live another day. 72-44 will be our final score. We're at 35 seconds left to go in the game. Kimball fans on their feet. Lufkin starts to come to their feet. Obviously not as happy, but proud, however, for their Panthers, who have come all the way to the regional semifinals in Class 5A. And now Kimball will come to their feet as we hit the 10-second mark left to go in the game. Now everybody's on their feet. We had this similar experience in Class 3A a couple of weeks ago with Madison and Howe as they dribbled out the last 2 minutes. They do it here tonight as they dribble out the last minute. Coach Nick Smith wins with his Kimball Knights. They move to 29-8 on the season and will advance to tomorrow. We are going to take a quick timeout. We'll have some interviews and some final thoughts coming up right after this.
Founded in 2015, the Mcdowell Funeral Home, LLC, located at 1810 Denby Drive in Dallas, is family-owned and operated, offering both traditional services and funerals as unique as your life. Services starting at $2,600 and cremation only $800. For details, go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at NelsonLawGroupPC.com.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to the Caldwell Center. Monte Walker along with Scott Garner. Old Golden Pipes. It's been a great opportunity to work with Scott tonight. We've both called games for about 25 years in North Texas and all over the state. First time we've had a chance to work together, however, and he'll be back up here right now. He's trying to interview head coach Nick Smith after the big win tonight as what a win it was for Kimball as they move past Lufkin. So again, we want to thank our sponsors tonight while we're waiting on interviews and such. The Kimball Knights wish to thank our broadcast sponsors, Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas, family owned and operated since 2015. Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW, DFW's best roofer for over 35 years. Nelson Law Group PC of Denton and Flower Mound, family personal injury, civil litigation, and estate planning. And, of course, Hance's Uptown Collision Center in Dallas, pickup and delivery for Dallas families. What a game it was for Kimball. Is at one point it was actually tied 22-22, and from that point on it was all Kimball as we're in the Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas postgame show. And we're waiting on Scott Garner, who's down there interviewing the head coach, Nick Smith. And we have players of the game we want to announce also. I haven't conversed with Scott on this, but my gosh, how do you not go with Henderson? You know, Morris is your all-world player. You know, your McDonald's All-American, which you don't get very many of those around these parts. And a University of Texas signee. But I think Kyron Henderson really made the difference tonight for Dallas Kimball. And I don't know how you get past him on the list tonight when you start thinking about players of the game. If you're talking about Lufkin, you know, Brandon Walker had a great game and a great last name. So we'll get Scott's input on that, but the players of the game are brought to you by Mcdowell Funeral Home of Dallas and Hance's Uptown Collision Center of Dallas. Again, we're waiting on an interview from Scott Garner with Nick Smith, and when he gets up here, we'll have that for you. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, we'll recap it again. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Mcdowell Family Funeral Home serves Dallas families with pre-needs planning for as little as $50 per month. Our staff will help you organize a comprehensive checklist to lighten the burden on your loved ones when the time finally arrives. Go online to McDowellFamilyFuneralHome.com for complete details to start the process.
Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound offers assistance with contract law, partnerships, and civil litigation. Brett Nelson is client-centered and maintains excellent communication to assist his clients best reaching their goals. Nelson Law can be reached at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Founded in 1955, Hance's Uptown Collision Center is the best little paint and body shop in Dallas. Owner Rob Mays has assembled a team of iCar and ASE certified craftsmen to restore your fine vehicle to original condition. Hance's Uptown Collision Center offers free pickup and delivery service for Frisco families. For complete details, go to hanceauto.com.
Welcome back to the Coldwell Center. Monte Walker along with Scott Garner. And Scott is back from an interview. And we'll see if we can get this plugged up for you and get the interview for you.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Coach Smith just a moment ago, and he really talked about the defensive pressure and how it really helped them out so far tonight.
Defensively in our rotations, but you know the latter part of the season, especially after we got a chance to go to Mount Vernon and play in their tournament, see some top-tier talent. We knew where we needed to fix coming into the playoffs.
As far as the full court press went, Lufkin broke it a couple of times. Were you ever concerned about that?
Well, we know it. When you're pressing like that, you're going to be out of position sometimes. You're going to give up buckets. We just wanted to get them rattled. We knew they were going to score because he's got a great team, Coach McManus over there. But we figured if we got them playing faster than they were normally used to playing faster, we prevail in the end.
You turned them over a bunch of times. I know there was a game plan coming in. Turned a lot of turnovers into points. When you're coaching on the bench like that, can you feel it? Do you try to turn the pressure up defensively when you start doing that?
That's our thing. Defense starts our offense. When I see I start to get a team rattled, then we'll start changing up the defenses on them a little bit, and then, just try to get them rattled.
How good was Kyron Henderson tonight?
Perfect, man. We call him the Hulk. Like they said in that movie, what is it, The Avengers? Yeah. He said, you have an army, we have a Hulk.
That's what he is. He's so good. Obviously you'll stay and watch the Memorial play tonight in Mount Pleasant. What are your thoughts going into tomorrow?
Well, we're ready to play. Both of them have really good teams. We'll stay and watch a little bit of game. We already got film on both teams, but like I told our guys, one game at a time, let's do what we need to do to try to get back to San Antonio.
And obviously, you want to try to rest your starters a little bit. Are you concerned about fatigue at all, playing in a back-to-back like that?
No, they're ready. We're built for it.
Coach, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, very good. Great job there, Scott. The Hulk, I wasn't ready for that. That was pretty interesting.
Well, it's interesting. I really just thought that Kimball came out and out-athleted him tonight. But in addition to that, they were so organized, and they executed their game plan. They came out, put pressure on Lufkin, and at some point you could kind of feel it that Lufkin's dauber was down a little bit, and Kimball, like blood in the water, felt it, went after it, and turned it up, and just knocked Lufkin into submission tonight.
So that coach's interview was brought to you by Hanses Uptown Collision Center of Dallas. And I went ahead and named the players of the game, but let's get your input in on this. For Kimball, I named the Hulk. And I don't know how you get around Morris. You're all American, McDonald's All-American and all that. But tonight I thought it might be the Hulk Henderson.
He was good. This is a guy that can really play. And, again, they're so interchangeable. I think Henderson, if he had to, he could probably play the one on this team. They're so athletic. They're so good. They get out and they run their lanes. They create turnovers. And I just thought he had a big hand in pretty much 80% of the buckets tonight.
Mcdowell Funeral Home of Dallas, player of the game for Lufkin. I thought Brandon Walker. He put up a lot of points underneath. And,
he was
good. Not the greatest of nights for Lufkin, and Kimball had a big part to play in that.
I love that choice there with Brandon Walker because, a lot of posts, especially against a team like Dallas Kimball, get a little antsy, but he didn't. He maintained his balance, caught most passes that came his way, did a great job on some lob passes that are so hard to catch, and he was able to catch and convert at the rim, got into double figures, and he really kept him in the game probably 3 or 4 times when easily Kimball could have kept that run going, and he kept it a game.
We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to recap it. You're in the Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas postgame show. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Whether buying or selling your home, it's a major decision. James C. Bivens of Keller Williams Real Estate Plano will help. James is a former teacher, principal, superintendent, coach, and resident of Frisco. For details, go online to James C. Bivens at kw.com or call 214-906-5679.
What does the 50th anniversary of Title IX mean? It means I'm valued, I'm empowered, I can do anything. It means I'll pave the way for every girl who plays high school sports in the future, just like every female student, coach, official, and administrator blaze the trail for me, because every student deserves the opportunity to play. Encourage girls you know to participate in Texas high school sports.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
If you or a friend have experienced a significant life loss, get the booklet Walk Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens. This booklet shares biblical help and is written and designed to help you successfully deal with grief. Walk Through the Valley of Grief is available online at Amazon.com. That's Walk Through the Valley of Grief.
We are in the Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas halftime or post-game show, rather. Glad it's not half. It's a 72-44 win, Kimball over Lufkin. Kimball will advance in the 5A regional semis. And let's talk a little bit about this one, Scott Garner. Let's finish this one up.
Well, when you look at the way that the second half transpired, I mean, you'd like to say it was a tight game, but it wasn't. But I thought that Kimball was somewhat workmanlike, and it was surprising to me that Coach Smith really feels like his team's ready to go. His starters played a lot of minutes tonight. They're going to play a tough team. Whoever they play tomorrow, they've got to play either Mount Pleasant or Memorial. I've seen Memorial play several times this year. They are very, very athletic. Not quite as athletic as Kimball, but it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a much tighter game than Kimball has played in the postseason tomorrow.
So it's worth the ticket tomorrow, you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Worth the ticket tomorrow. Come early. Get here and watch what should be a fantastic ball game. It's turned into a decent crowd. The crowd wasn't that big when the Lufkin-Kimball game began, but it's turned into quite a crowd tonight in the nightcap.
Lufkin going to be hit hard by graduation as they exit. And they're going to lose Christian Mumphrey, a great player for the Panthers. They're also going to lose Isaiah Bennett and Elijah Johnson, a great ball handler. They're going to lose Pierce Parks off the bench. Other than that, they're losing several starters, but they've got a lot coming back too.
A lot coming back, and it's impressive too how teams that end up getting good, which Kimball obviously is, go to the state title game last year, and here they won their 29th game. You get good, and all of a sudden you're able to reload. It's become so much easier. You get guys that want to play in your program. You're able to build the program. It's established. And what I like about what Kimball's done is they're not complicated. They're very simple with what they do. They end up really coming out and putting a charge into the opponent and set the tone with their athleticism. They did it again tonight, and that's 4 straight games where they have just absolutely blown out their opponent in the postseason.
Scott, it's been a blast. We finally get to work together. You and I have both been doing games around North Texas for about 25 years, all over. Matter of fact, all over Texas, not just.
Yeah.
And one of us has done a lot more broadcasted baseball and everything else, Rough Riders and SMU, and you've got a great pedigree. And I tell you what, it's been an honor to do a game with you here tonight.
You're awfully nice, Monty. You did a great job tonight. Hey, and listen, Kimball, they're great, and I would be shocked if they didn't end up in the state tournament.
Maybe, just maybe, from San Antonio, huh?
I think so. They're that good.
Hey, we want to thank, once again, all of the sponsors who helped make this possible. The Kimball Knights want to thank Mcdowell Family Funeral Home of Dallas, family owned and operated since 2015. Wortham Brothers Roofing of DFW, DFW's best roofer over the past 35 years. Nelson Law Group, PC of Denton and Flower Mound, family, personal injury, civil litigation, and estate planning. Hanson's Uptown Collision Center in Dallas, pickup delivery for Dallas families. Also Frisco, don't forget about that over in Frisco. Hey, for everyone who's been a part of this one, it was a 72-44 Kimball win. They'll advance play tomorrow. It's been a lot of fun, Scott. Neither one of us will be able to do the game tomorrow, but whoever does it for you will do a great job. So tune in tomorrow. TexasSportsProductions.com. For Scott Garner, I'm Monte Walker. So long, everybody.